The part of the book that I literally read 3 times in one sitting. The 5 Laws of Gold. This is where the book stops being a self-help book and starts feeling like ancient scripture. Because these laws, written for people 5,000 years ago dealing with camels and gold coins, are exactly, precisely, word for word applicable to your bank account today. Let me walk you through them. Law 1. Gold cometh gladly, and in increasing quantity, to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. This is just Cure 1 again, but now it's law. Non-negotiable. Universal. 10% minimum. Always. No exceptions. Think of Oppenheimer. Yes, the movie. That scene where he's building the bomb and someone asks, why are they doing all of this extra work, all of this safety? And he says, because if you're wrong, you need to have done it right. You save the 10% not because you'll always need it. You save it because one day you absolutely will. Law 2. Gold laboreth diligently and contentedly for the wise owner, who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of Ishmael's field. Invested money works for you while you sleep. This is compound interest. This is the 8th wonder of the world that Einstein supposedly called the most powerful force in the universe. The key word is wise employment. Not gambling, not speculation. Wise, steady, compounding growth. Law 3. Gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner, who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. Get advice from people who are actually good with money. Not your broke uncle who has a feeling about this stock. Not the guy on YouTube promising 500% returns. People with actual track records, actual results, actual skin in the game. This is the mentor law. Every single successful movie protagonist has a mentor. Batman has Alfred. Luke Skywalker has Yoda. Rocky has Mickey. Find your Mickey for money. Law 4. Gold slippeth away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar, or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. Money runs from ignorance. You cannot invest in what you don't understand, period. This is the Arkad version of Warren Buffett's famous rule: never invest in a business you cannot understand. If someone explains an investment to you and you don't get it after a genuine attempt to understand, walk away. The complexity is often the scam. Law 5. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires for quick wealth. This is the most important law and the most violated one. Get rich quick equals get broke guaranteed. Every Ponzi scheme ever. Every guaranteed returns pitch. Every this crypto is different moment. Every just put in for 3 months and you'll double it. Law 5. Every single time. The money flees. Always has. Always will. The movie version of Law 5? Every heist that gets too greedy. Every criminal who says, one last job. Every time someone breaks the rules of the plan for a shortcut. You know exactly what happens. It ends badly. Every time. Without exception. That's not drama. Meet the moneylender. Dabasir's story. Now I want to tell you about a character in this book who destroyed me emotionally, in the best possible way. His name is Dabasir, and his story is basically the most relatable financial horror story you'll ever hear, except it's set in ancient Babylon with camels and slaves instead of credit cards and student loans. Dabasir starts as a camel trader's son. Decent upbringing. He has a wife. He has a life. But, and here's where it gets painfully real, he loved spending money. Any money he had, he spent. Any debt that was offered, he took. Buy now, pay later. Sound familiar? One day his debts became so bad his creditors took everything. His home, his belongings, Even his wife went back to her father because he had nothing to offer her. And then, in what is genuinely the most cinematically wild plot twist, he ends up in the Syrian desert, a slave, for real, sold, working for a master. No money, no family, no freedom. And it's in that desert, at rock absolute bottom, that something changes in him. He's feeding camels, and he watches these animals, these massive, stupid-looking camels, carrying enormous loads without complaining, walking through the desert, doing what they were made to do. And Dabasir thinks, if a camel can carry this load without complaint and keep moving forward, why am I sitting here defeated? I have a mind that a camel doesn't. I have the ability to reason. I have skills. I have will. And he decides right there, in the desert as a slave, that he will return to Babylon. He will pay every single one of his debts, every coin, and he will rebuild. He escapes. He comes back to Babylon with nothing, and he does something radical. He goes to every person he owes money to. He doesn't hide from them. He faces them. He tells them, I am back. I don't have your money today, but I am making you a promise. I will pay you, not all at once, in portions, but every debt will be cleared. Most of them agree, because he showed up, because he was honest, because he had a plan. He takes what he earns and divides it into 3 parts, 70% for living, 20% to pay debts, 10% to save. 7 portions of 10 parts to live on, 2 to pay debts, 1 to build wealth. Within a few years, Dabasir, the man who was a slave in a desert, is free, debt-free, and building real wealth. This isn't a fairy tale. This is a system, a mechanical, repeatable system that works whether you're a camel trader in ancient Babylon or a broke 24-year-old in 2025 wondering where your salary went. The system doesn't care about your backstory. It only responds to your actions. Luck and action, the goddess of good luck. Okay, let's talk about luck, because this is where the book gets into territory that made me genuinely uncomfortable for like 10 minutes before I accepted it was completely right. In one of the parables, a group of men are sitting around complaining about how lucky some people are, how some people just seem to attract wealth, how life is unfair, how if they just got one good break, one stroke of luck, everything would change. Does this conversation sound familiar? I've had it. You've probably had it. Everyone has had it at some point. And then Arkad, who is sitting there listening, says something that nobody in that room wants to hear. The goddess of luck does not distribute her favors to those who sit at home, waiting for luck to come to them. She passes down the street and knocks on the door of the man who is busy. Luck goes to the busy. The man who is waiting for his moment, she walks past. The man who is out there, trying things, failing, trying again, building, creating, risking, she stops at his door. The book makes this impossibly concrete with a story about a man who keeps waiting for the perfect opportunity to buy a piece of land cheap. The merchant tells him one is available, discounted, great location. The man says he'll think about it. He comes back. The land is sold. Another opportunity comes. He hesitates again. Another opportunity comes. Same result. And the merchant finally tells him, you wait for perfect. Perfect never comes. The man who bought that land wasn't richer than you, wasn't smarter than you. He just said yes while you were still deciding. This hit me like a hammer because I have been that man so many times, waiting for the perfect moment to start the business, to make the investment, to launch the project, to say yes. There is no perfect moment. There is only this moment and the next one, and whether you act or wait. Movie version? Think of every villain who had a plan but waited too long scene. Think of every hero who survived because they acted when others hesitated. The window of opportunity is always open for exactly the moment between should I and I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow it's closed, always. And the book gives us the ultimate rule about luck. Good luck can be enticed by accepting opportunity. Not chased, not begged for, not hoped for. Enticed. By action, by readiness, by showing up so consistently and so preparedly that when opportunity knocks, you are already at the door. The Walls of Babylon, Protection and Debt. Okay, I'm going to tell you about the chapter that turned this book from a finance book into a life philosophy book for me. It's called The Walls of Babylon. And on the surface, it's literally about walls. Physical stone walls protecting an ancient city from enemies. Which sounds boring, but stay with me. Babylon had walls that were considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Massive, impenetrable, built not for decoration but for protection. Because the citizens of Babylon knew that prosperity attracts enemies. Wealth attracts those who want to take it. The walls weren't optional, they were the price of abundance. And Clason uses this, not so subtly, as the most elegant metaphor you'll ever read about personal finance. Your walls are insurance, savings, an emergency fund, diversified income, no crippling debt, legal protections. The enemy at the gates is job loss, medical emergency, economic collapse, unexpected disaster. The walls are boring. Building walls doesn't feel as exciting as buying a new phone or eating at a nice restaurant. Nobody brags about their emergency fund. Nobody gets likes on Instagram for their insurance plan. But when the enemy comes to your gate, and it always comes, eventually, to everyone, the question isn't whether you have money. The question is whether you have walls. Now, debt. The book is crystal clear on debt, and it doesn't make it comfortable. Debt is the enemy inside the walls. You let it in voluntarily, and it attacks you from within. But, and this is crucial, Clason doesn't say all debt is evil. He says uncontrolled debt is a prison. Debt taken on for productive purposes that you have a clear plan to repay, that can be a tool. Dabasir's debt was out of control because he borrowed to consume. Food, clothing, luxuries. Borrowed to live beyond his means with no plan. That kind of debt, it grows and grows. And when you can't pay it, it doesn't forgive you. It compounds against you the same way invested savings compound for you. The two-sided coin rule. Money working for you builds a palace. Money borrowed foolishly and uncontrolled builds a prison. Same force, opposite direction. Pay off high-interest debt first, before investing, before saving. Because if you're paying 30% interest on credit card debt while saving at 7% returns, you are losing 23% on that money every year. The math is the enemy. Every character in this book who built wealth, Arkad, Dabasir, the merchants, the farmers, they all did one thing that the others didn't. They decided, clearly, specifically, without condition, that they would build wealth. And then they built the system to make it happen. Every character who stayed poor, and there are many of them in this book, they all had one thing in common too. They hoped, they wished, they waited. They had 1,000 reasons why it wasn't the right time, why the economy was hard, why they didn't earn enough, why their situation was different. The economy of Babylon was the same for everyone, the same city, the same streets. Arkad and his broke friends started in the same place. One decided, the rest hoped. This book is 100 years old. Clason wrote it in 1926. And I want you to think about everything that's happened since 1926. 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the tech boom, the 2008 crash, a global pandemic, inflation, crypto, AI. And the principles in this book have not moved 1 inch. Because they're not about the economy. They're about human behavior. Your behavior. My behavior.